Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Post 2 baseball stream. After sorting out a few technical difficulties, we joined this game in the first inning. There is only one out. Brian Weiss led off for the Grand Forks Royals, and he struck out. On your stream, you probably just saw the second hitter, Owen Harms, the shortstop, strikeout. Now batting for Grand Forks is the extra hitter, number 24, Brody Lucier. Continuing with the lineup for Grand Forks is Ladige, Tweet, Gates, Burrett, Hauser, Variano, and Carinta. The substitutes are Craig and Kaufman. The count on Lucier is 0-1. It's a nice night here at Jack Williams Stadium for this second game of the doubleheader between Grand Forks Royals and Fargo 61's 14U Blue. Drop third strike. Batter is out at first base. So we will go through the Fargo 61's lineup. Leading off in the number one spot is the center fielder, Tate Grandy. Batting second is the second baseman, Max Ammerman. Third baseman will bat third, number 20, Landon Fries. The number 4 hitter is Thomas Cotterbaugh, the left fielder. Batting fifth is Owen Smith, the right fielder. Batting sixth is the catcher, Bo Purdy. Batting seventh is the shortstop, Henry Schrum. Batting eighth is the pitcher, Finn Bergseth. And batting ninth is the first baseman, Tyler Frederick. The substitutes are Tate Barnacle, Tucker Cozen, Jack Joyce, and Colin Holt. It is a real nice 81 degrees here at the ballpark tonight. Northwest wind at 17 miles an hour, but that must be a lie because the flag is at a standstill at center field. You still have time to come out and join us for this beautiful weather. In the field for Grand Forks, pitching is Kellen Burrett. The catcher is Hauser. The first baseman is Bryce Carinta. Second base is Brody Ladige. The shortstop is Owen Harms. And at third base is Liam Tweet. From left to right in the outfield is Joe Variano, the left fielder, Brian Weiss, the center fielder, and Max Gates, the right fielder. The first game tonight was a wild one. Grand Forks led 4-2 after 3.5 innings, and then Fargo exploded for 22 runs in the bottom of the fourth to win the game 24-20.
Leading off in the bottom of the first inning for the 61s, number 7, Tate Grandy.
Leading off for the Fargo Blues is the center fielder, number 7, Tate Grandy. Grandy has a count of 2 balls and 1 strike. And that pitch was low for 3-1. And that was inside, but the ump liked it, so it brings us to a full count for Grandy. And he fouls that one off to keep his at-bat alive. Grandy puts that in play as a pop-up to the shortstop, easily handled out there in center field. Sorry, a pop-up to the center fielder. That's going to bring up the second baseman, number 3, Max Ammerman, who was our starting pitcher in the previous game.
Number 3, Max Ammerman.
Ammerman takes the first pitch as a ball. And the count is now 2-0. And we are deep into a hitter's count at 3 balls and 0 strikes. Ammerman makes the pitcher earn it, and he does, so it brings us a count of 3 balls and 1 strike. And that pitch is right on the outside corner to give us a full count at 3-2. Ammerman draws the walk here in the bottom of the first inning, 1 out.
Now batting for the 61s. Number 20, Landon Fries.
That's going to bring up the third baseman, number 20, Landon Fries. First pitch is strike 1. Going around the diamond for Grand Forks on the mound, we have the pitcher, Kellen Barrett, the catcher, Hauser. First baseman is Bryce Carinta. As this is hit back to the pitcher. Pitcher tries to get the lead runner out at second, but they are unsuccessful. Continuing around the mound at second base is Brody Ladige. The shortstop is Owen Harms. The third baseman is Liam Tweet. Entering the batter's box for Fargo is number 16, the left fielder, Thomas Cotterbaugh. And in the outfield for the Grand Forks Royals from left to right, as this pitch is fouled away, is the left fielder, Joe Veriano, the center fielder, Brian Weiss, and the right fielder, Max Gates. Ammerman's the runner on first, and he steals third. Cotterbaugh swings on strike 2 on that steal attempt. Fries stays at first base. This is a prime steal opportunity for the runner on first since second is unoccupied. So the catcher gives the signal to the infield on how they want to play this. And there the runner goes on first, and it is well hit, but just a bit foul. Cotterbaugh was hoping that one would stay fair, but it just did not by about 2 feet. That sends the runners back to their positions, first and third here with one out in the bottom of the first. The count for Cotterbaugh is 1 ball and 2 strikes, and he takes ball 2 here. Fry takes off and steals second base. There is no challenge from the catcher because the runner is on third and he would have come home. That pitch is outside, which evens the count, or brings us to a full count of 3-2. Pitch bounces off of somebody's foot, probably the catcher's. That brings it, walks the bases loaded for Bouvet. And that's going to bring to the mound the right fielder, Owen Smith, number 55. Owen Smith was 2 for 4 in the previous game.
No, you can still use it. It just means it's been played.
And Smith swings on the first pitch that he sees and hits it into the gap between left field and center. That's going to score 2 runs. Cotterbaugh holds up at second.
Batting for the 61. Number 31, Bo Purdy.
Bo Purdy, the catcher, steps into the batter's box. Number 31, he was 2 for 4 in the first game today. And he takes strike 1 looking. High and outside for ball 1. The count is 1 ball and 1 strike, with 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Wild pitch advances the runners to second and third base, respectively. Purdy's now sitting on a 2-1 count as Bouvet goes back to the mound to deliver the next pitch. High and inside for ball 3. Corner infielders are playing in, and Purdy fouls this one off to bring us to a full count. Purdy turns his shoulder and manages to get grazed by the ball. So it's a dead ball situation, and Purdy takes the base after being hit by the pitch. That's going to bring up the shortstop, number 12, Henry Schrum.
Number 12, Henry Schrum.
Henry was 1 for 4 in the first game. He played third base. And he takes strike 1 looking. Henry takes that second pitch for a strike as well. The count is 0 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out in the bottom of the first. And he turns his hands on that one quickly. Fouls that one out of play to keep his at-bat alive. The count is still 0-2. Just a bit outside for ball one. Shrum pokes at that one and hits it into right field. That's going to score 2 runs, and on the slow throw, getting it into the infield, Shrum advances to second base. So 2 RBIs for Shrum on that single. With 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. Fargo has runners on second and third base. Shrum at second and Purdy at third. This is going to bring up the pitcher number 9, Finn Bergseth. Finn was 0 for 2 in the first game. And that ball kind of hits the dirt a little bit, gets away from the catcher for ball 1. Little bit of a foul tip for strike 1. That pitcher's right down the middle for strike 2. Bergseth sitting on a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Low and away for ball 3. Or ball 2, rather. Bergseth hits a chopper to the second baseman. A run is going to score. And Bergseth with the RBI sacrifice there. Shrum advances to third.
Now batting for the 61s. Number 22, Tyler Frederick.
The 9th hitter for Fargo, so they have batted the whole side. The 9th hitter is the first baseman, number 22, Tyler Frederick. He was 1 for 4 in the first game tonight. And he's going to take strike 1 looking. Shrum stays at third base. They've already gotten into the pitch count a little bit. Bouvette's already at 36 pitches now. And the count is 1-1.
What was the word? You get 2 strands of hair. What was the word, dog?
Ball 2 to Frederick. Count is 2-1. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Frederick tells Shrum to stay at third because the catcher did dig that one out of the dirt. Frederick is sitting on a 3-1 hitters count here. And he leaves that ball across the plate on the high and inside as he walks to first. It's going to bring us back to the top of the order for the center fielder, number 7, Tate Grandy. Grandy's a lefty. He did not appear at the plate in the first game. So this is his second at-bat of the night. All here in the first inning. Bouvette checks the runner at first to make sure he doesn't go, steps off the rubber. Frederick rushes back to first base, but there was no challenge, so he's safe. Grandy takes strike one there. Grandy must like it because he let strike two cross the plate. He won't make the mistake a third time here. The count is 0-2 with 2 outs. And that pitch is high for ball one. So Grandy sitting on a 1-2 count. Runners take their leads off the bases. Catcher drops down to save that one. The count is now 2-2. Grandy works it to a full count after letting the first two cross the plate unchallenged. Good for him to get back to 3-2 here. Knocker walk, and Grandy's going to walk. That loads the bases here and brings up the second baseman, number 3, Max Ammerman. Ammerman did not bat in the first game. He was the pitcher, but they elected to have somebody hit for him. So this is only his second at bat of the night. All here in the first inning. He swings on that first pitch and sends it foul into the netting. Grandy at first, Frederick at second, and Schrum still at third. Ammerman fouls that one back almost above the press box here. With 2 foul balls, he's sitting on an 0-2 count. Bouvette now at 49 pitches in the first inning, as Ammerman stares down a 1-2 count here, trying to make sure he keeps his at-bat alive at a minimum. That one was close, but he and the ump both thought it was high for ball 2. Ammerman swings and hits it right to the shortstop, who shovel passes it to the second baseman for the force out at second to end the inning. Fargo gets 5 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and 3 men left on base. That ends the first inning. The score is Grand Forks 0 and Fargo 61's Blue 5. Due up for the Royals in the top of the second, Ledige, Tweet, and Gates, the 4, 5, and 6 hitters.
Leading off in the top of the second inning for the Royals, number 13, Brody Ledige.
The second baseman for Grand Forks will start things off here in the top of the second inning. Number 13, Brody Ledige, he takes strike 1 swinging. And swings and misses on strike 2. Three straight swings and misses. And the batter sits down. That's going to bring up the third baseman, number 23, Liam Tweet. Liam was 1 for 2 in the first game of today.
Number 23, Liam Tweet.
He was the starting pitcher earlier. Four straight strikes for Bergseth. This one looking. Strike 1 on Tweet. And that one's low and inside for ball 1. That pitch was way outside for ball 2. Tweet with the 2-1 count now. Just a bit high out of the strike zone, so Tweet enjoys the hitter's count, 3-1. 1 out here in the top of the first. And that pitch is right in there to make it a knocker walk situation, full count for Tweet. Bergseth now sitting at 21 pitches in the game so far. Tweet fouls that one out of play to keep his at-bat alive. Tweet trying to get that pitch count up. Falls off another. Outside for a walk. That's going to bring up the right fielder, number 11, Max Gates. He was 0 for 2 in the first game.
Number 11, Max Gates.
Gates takes the first strike looking. Tweet with the lead off at first. Bergseth checks the runner. Bergseth delivers the pitch. It's hit sharply to the second baseman. Shovels it to the shortstop. It's double play attempt, but the throw is a little late at first base. So they get the lead-off runner out for out number 2 in this inning. And Gates reaches on the fielder's choice.
Number 21, Kellen Bovet.
That's going to bring up the pitcher, number 21, Kellen Bouvet. First pitch right down the middle. Strike 1. 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. Wild pitch sends Gates all the way running to second. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 outs. Beautiful night at the ballpark, ladies and gentlemen. Shadows are now creeping into the left field grass. The flag is barely moving. The count is now 2-1 for Bouvet. Another wild pitch advances the runner to third. Bouvet with the hitter's count, 3-1, 2 outs. Runner at third base. And that pitch was low, which sends Bouvet walking to first. That's going to bring up the catcher, number 16, Hauser. He did have one at bat in the first game. He was 0 for 1 and pinch hit situation. Bergseth up to 32 pitches here in the second inning.
16, Jack Hauser.
Jack Hauser looks at the third base coach for the signs. And that first pitch is on the outside corner for strike one. Hauser pokes at it, sends the ball foul. First baseman comes over to the first base dugout side and snags the ball out of the air to end the inning. No runs on no hits. No errors, but stranded 3. Middle of the second inning, the score is Grand Forks 0, Fargo 61's 5. Due up for Fargo in the next inning are the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, Fries, Cotterbaugh, and Smith. Third baseman's going to start things off here in the bottom of the second for Fargo, number 20, Landon Fries. Bouvette with the first pitch of the inning is a ball. Bouvette now at 51 pitches here in the bottom of the second. And he delivers that one high for ball 2. Fries with the swing and the miss. Gives him his first strike of his at-bat. The count is now 2-1. Fries chops that one up in the air. The right fielder has a chance to play it, but it bounces off of his glove. And Fries with the nice leadoff double here to start the inning for Fargo. That's going to bring up the left fielder, number 16, Thomas Cotterbaugh.
Number 16, Thomas Cotterbaugh.
Cotterbaugh takes the first pitch as a ball. Fries with a huge lead at second as Cotterbaugh takes strike 1 looking. Evens the count at 1-1 with 0 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. And that was obviously a strike down the middle for Cotterbaugh. The count is 1-2. pop up to the center fielder who handles it nicely. Fry stays at second base. That is the first out of the inning. And that is going to bring up number 55, Owen Smith, the right fielder.
Owen Smith.
Smith takes that first pitch looking for strike one. Third base coach says swing away. Fry's with an extended lead at second base, and he's running to third as that ball is hit in the gap between short and third base. Fry's is going to round third and head home as Smith gets the RBI single. Smith is now 2 for 2 on the day, in this game rather.
Number 31, Bo Purdy.
And this is going to bring up the catcher, number 21 or 31, Bo Purdy. Purdy shows patience at the plate for ball one. Purdy hits into a potential double play. Smith is out advancing to second. The throw to first base was in the dirt. So Purdy does reach. This is going to bring up the shortstop, number 12, Henry Schrum.
Number 12, Henry Schrum.
King.
You gotta be close.
First pitch is a strike looking.
If I was back here, they would be able to hear me.
Second pitch is a strike down the middle for an 0-2 count on Schrum. Count is 2-2 on Schrum, with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. He takes that ball to even or work himself into a full count. Runner still on first base. He takes off for second as Schrum puts it into play with a nice single. That is going to bring up the pitcher, number 9, Finn Bergseth.
Now batting for the 61s. Number 15, Tucker Kozin.
Kozin comes up the bat and hits it right in the gap. First pitch single is going to score a run. Schrum is going to advance to third, and on the errant throw to third base, Bergseth is going to advance to second. That's going to bring to the plate the first baseman, Tyler Frederick. Frederick steps into the plate with 2 outs in the bottom of the second inning. There are runners on second and third base. Frederick takes that first pitch as a ball. And the second pitch is a ball as well. 2-0. Schrum at third and Bergseth. Oh, sorry, that would be the pinch runner, Tuckakosen at second. Frederick is now sitting at a 3-0 count. Next pitch has got to be in the middle, and it's not, so Frederick walks to first. The bases are now loaded. This is going to bring us back to the top of the order for the center fielder, Tate Grandy. Bouvette sitting at 73 pitches here in the second inning.
61. Number 7, Tate Grandy.
Here. We'll do Hills next, 2 Hills.
Grandy does well to hold his ground and not get hit on ball 1. That pitch was low and outside for ball 2.
Is that graded? I'd rather do a push-up, bro.
Foul ball.
Grandy hits it deep, but it is foul by 2 feet. Runners have to go back to their base. Grandy now sitting on a 2-1 count with 2 out in the bottom of the second inning.
Yeah, okay, how do you get like the tapping?
Grandy hits a chopper to the second baseman, who handles it easily for the slow throw for the out at first. Fargo gets 2 runs on 2 hits with 3 men left on base. After 2, the score is Grand Forks 0, Fargo 7. Due up for Grand Forks in the top of the third, Veriano, Corinta, and Weiss.
And leading off to the top of the third inning for the Royals, number 14, Joe Veriano.
Grand Forks is looking to chip into this 7-run lead that Fargo has in the top of the third inning. Joe Veriano steps up to the plate. He's the left fielder, and he swings on that first pitch for strike 1. Veriano fans on strike 2. The count is 0-2. Veriano puts it into play. Nice little line out caught by the third baseman, Landon Fries. So Veriano is the first out of the inning as he heads back to the dugout. That's going to bring up the first baseman, number 1, Bryce Corinta.
Now batting for the Royals, number 1, Bryce Corinta.
Corinta watches the ball sail above the brim of his hat for ball 1. And that one is way outside for ball 2. Carenta with the hitter's count, 3-0. He knows the pitcher has to bring it here. And that ball is too low. So Carenta takes a nice leisurely stroll down the first base line. And that's going to bring us back to the top of the order for Grand Forks. The center fielder, number 26, Brian Weiss.
Number 26, Brian Weiss.
Bergseth checks the runner at first, delivers the pitch, gets away from the catcher, and Carenta advances to second base on the passed ball. One out here in the top of the third.
It's a different picture.
Weiss with the 2-0 count here. Fargo pulled a fast one on us and switched pitchers early in this game. So now on the mound is number 13, Tate Barnacle. And he walks the next batter.
Now batting for the Royals. Number 2, Owen Harms.
Stepping into the batter's box is the shortstop, number 2, Owen Harms. Harms is 0 for 1 in this game. That pitch was low for ball 1. Nice poke swing. Hit into the right field gap. Bounced once in front of the right fielder, who managed to throw out the hitter at first base, but the runners did advance to second and third. So Harms is out, but Carenta advances to third base and Weiss advances to second, and that is going to bring up the extra hitter, number 24, Brody Lucier.
Now batting for the Royals. Number 15.
Sorry, another change. Number 15, Caleb Kaufman, is now going to bat. He was 0 for 1 in the first game. This is his first plate appearance tonight. The ball does get past the catcher here. He has a hard time squeezing it, but the runners do not advance. Ball 2 to Kaufman. And ball 3. Kaufman takes strike 1 looking. He's sitting on a 3-1 count here with 2 outs in the top of the third inning. And Kaufman walks down to first base. The bases are now loaded. This is going to bring up the second baseman, number 13, Brody Ledige.
Now batting for the Royals. Number 13, Brody Ledige.
Bases loaded with 2 outs here in the top of the third. That first pitch is a ball outside for Ledige. Kaufman's sitting at first, Weiss at second, and Carenta is at third. Money pitch down the middle for strike 1 evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Poked at it right to the right fielder. He didn't even have to move for the third and final out of the inning. Grand Forks gets 0 runs on No hits, no errors, 3 walks, and 3 men left on base. Due up for Fargo are the 2, 3, and 4 hitters, Ammerman, Fries, and Cotterbaugh.
Leading off in the bottom of the 3rd inning for the 61s. Number 3, Max Ammerman.
As we start the bottom of the 3rd inning, Fargo is leading 7-0. And starting things off for Fargo is the 3rd baseman, Landon Fries, number 20. Excuse me. Number 3, Max Ammerman, the 2nd baseman. Landon is on deck. Ammerman takes strike 1, so that's 1-1. He swings at that one and fouls it off into the netting. Ball 2 evens the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody out. Hit into the play. Pitcher races after it. Throws him out for the first out of the inning. That now leads us to the 3rd baseman, number 20, Landon Fries. Landon takes strike 1. That pitch was more than just a little outside for ball 1. Evens the count at 1 apiece. That pitch was right down the middle, so Landon takes a good swing at it, hits it into the gap. for a nice single. It's going to bring to the plate the left fielder, number 16, Thomas Cotterbaugh.
Now batting for the 61s. Number 16, Thomas Cotterbaugh.
Thomas is 0 for 1 in this game so far. And that one hits him squarely between the shoulder blades. But I think the ump decided he didn't make a big enough attempt to get out of the way, so that's going to be ball 1. And he stays in there, and then he really smokes it deep. Over the left fielder's head. Left fielder's still running. Fries comes all the way home from first base. Cotterbaugh slides into third for an RBI triple.
Number 55, Owen Smith.
This brings up the right fielder, Owen Smith, to the plate. He swings at the first pitch and puts it into play. It's going to drop in between the shortstop, third baseman, and left fielder. Cotterbaugh is going to come home on the potential tag up. So another hit for another RBI.
Now batting for the 61.
Smith is now 4 for 6 on the day. Catcher steps into the batter's box. Number 31, Bo Purdy. The pitcher, Variano, tries the pickoff move at first base to keep Smith honest. Purdy fouls that one off into the net behind home plate. The count for Purdy is 1-1. That ball hits Purdy in the back, much like the previous hit by pitch. This time the ump awards him a base.
Now batting for the 61s. Number 12, Henry Schrum.
As they say in life, no pain, no gain. So Purdy feels a little pain, wears it, takes the base. That's going to bring up the shortstop, number 12, Henry Schrum. Henry Schrum is 2 for 2 in this game, 3 for 6 on the day. And Schrum ducks out of the way of ball 1. Purdy at first base and Smith at second. One out here in the bottom of the third. Schrum sees that one, crosses eyebrows for ball 2. Schrum is now looking at a 3-0 count. Variano delivers the pitch outside for ball 4. Bases are now loaded. And that's going to bring up the pitcher, number 9, Finn Bergseth. Used to be the pitcher.
Now batting for the 61.
Correction.
Number 13,
It's Tate Barnacle. The new pitcher, Tate Barnacle. Barnacle hits that one a mile, but it's foul. Barnacle takes another swing, puts that deep between the outfielders. Barnacle's going to get 2 RBIs on that double. So Barnacle's at second base, and looks like Schrum is at third.
Number 4, Colin Holt.
Now batting for Fargo, number 4, Colin Holt. Colin was 2 for 4 in the first game.
Now batting for the 61s. Number 7, Tate Grandy.
Back to the top of the order for Fargo, number 7, Tate Grandy. We have 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning. Grandy takes that first pitch looking for strike 1. On the wild pitch, Barnacle scores. With 2 outs here in the bottom of the third, Fargo has scored 6 runs this inning. And that pitch is high and outside for ball 2 with 1 strike. 2 outs. Hit sharply between the first and second baseman for an easy single. It's going to bring up the second baseman, number 3, Max Ammerman.
Now batting for the 61s. Number 3, Max Ammerman.
Ammerman is hit by the pitch, and he grimaces as he walks down the first base line to take his base. Stepping up to bat is number 20, Landon Fries, the third baseman.
Now batting for the 61s. Number 20, Landon Freeze.
Another wild pitch advances the runners on the bases for ball 1. Grandy is at third base and Ammerman at second. Ball 2 to Landon. And Fries is staring at a 3-0 count. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Fargo does lead 13-0. And Landon walks down to first base. The bases are loaded with 2 outs. This is going to bring up
Now batting for the 61s.
number 16, Thomas Cotterbaugh. Thomas is 1 for 2 in this game today. ball one. Hit sharply to the shortstop for the 6-3 out to end the inning. Fargo scores 6 runs on 4 hits. 3 men left on base. At the conclusion of 3 innings, Fargo does lead by a score of 13-0 over Grand Forks. Coming up for Grand Forks in the top of the 4th are the 5, 6, and 7 hitters, Tweet, Gates, and Bouvette.
After 3. Leading off in the top of the 4th inning for the Royals. Number 23, Levi Tweed.
Leading off for the Grand Forks Royals is number 23, Liam Tweet, the third baseman. He sees the first pitch cross the plate as a strike. Second pitch was a bit high, even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Barnacle still on the mound for Fargo. This is popped up to the second baseman, who makes it look easy for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up the right fielder, number 11, Max Gates.
Now batting for the Royals. Number 11, Max Geets.
Max ducks out of the way, but earns a strike on his first pitch he sees. And the second pitch is outside and low to even the count. 1 ball and 1 strike. Two balls and 1 strike now. Grand Forks looking to get the bats going. That pitch is a bit wild. So it becomes a hitter's count, 3-1. With the twirl of the bat, Max sees ball 4 come across the plate, so he walks down to first, says hi to Frederick.
Now batting for the Royals. Number 21, Kellen Bouvet.
It's going to bring up number 21 for Grand Forks, Kellen Bouvette. Gates leads off at first. Expands his lead on the pitch, which ends up crossing the plate as a ball. Barnacle makes sure that one's a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike on the hitter now. 1 out here in the top of the 4th inning. Swing and a miss gives us strike 2. The players check the sign from the third base coach. And Kellen is ready to swing. Barnacle delivers the pitch, and it is outside for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. Runner on first. Wild pitch lets Gates take second base. He thinks about heading to third, but wisely holds. The count is full with 1 out, runner on second. The pitch is delivered and it is hit firmly, but right to the center fielder who charged. Throws it to the second base and tries to get the force out, but the runner tags up in time. There are now 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning. And that is going to bring up the catcher, number 16, Jack Hauser.
Now batting for the Royals, number 16, Jack Hauser.
First pitch is low for ball 1. Gates in, scoring position at second base. Hauser's patient on that ball. Ball 2, which was high. The count is 2-0. Hauser hit into the gap, but the shortstop does get to it in time and makes a very nice throw for the third and final out of the inning. No hits, no runs, no errors. 1 man left on base. In the middle of the 4th inning, the score is Grand Forks 0, Fargo 13. Due up for Fargo in the bottom of the 4th inning are Smith, Purdy, and Schrum, the 5, 6, and 7 hitters. Leading off for Fargo in the bottom of the 4th is the right fielder, number 55, Owen Smith. Owen is 3 for 3 in this game with 4 RBIs. And this announcer just snake bit him because now he's 3 for 4 after he ground out on the first pitch to the second baseman. But Owen does have 7 RBIs tonight, which is awesome. It's going to bring up the catcher, Bo Purdy, number 31.
Number 31, Bo Purdy.
Purdy sees ball 1 cross the plate. Variano on his 34th pitch of the night. Purdy chops it right to the first baseman, who shuttles it back to the pitcher for the easy out at first. 2 quick outs here for Fargo to start the 4th inning. That's going to bring up the shortstop, Henry Schrum.
61's number 12, Henry Schrum.
Schrum sees ball 1 on the first pitch. Schrum is 2 for 2 in this game. And that is ball 2. Schrum also has 2 RBIs and has scored a run. So he's responsible for 3 of the 13 runs up there. And he now has a very nice count for himself at 3 balls and 0 strikes with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th inning. Schrum swings and pokes it into the outfield. It's going to hit the gap. Schrum rounds first base and takes off for second, and he's standing. Now batting for Fargo, number 6, Jack Joyce.
Now batting for the 61. Number 6, Jack Joyce.
That's his first appearance of this game. Schrum is at second base with 2 outs. Joyce takes strike 1 looking. And that evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. The count is now 2-1. Joyce fouls that off towards his own team's dugout. Variano checks the runner at second. Schrum gets a big lead. Schrum was halfway to third base when Joyce fouled it off down the third base line. Schrum straightens it out, hits it right to the right fielder, who comes in and makes the easy play for the 3rd out of the inning. Fargo gets 0 runs on 1 hit and no errors and 1 man left on base.
And the Fargo 61's 13. Now happening at the concession stands, there's half price off hamburgers, hot dogs, pizza, and popcorn.
After 4 innings, the score is Grand Forks 0, Fargo 61's 13. pitcher change for Fargo. Now coming to the mound and warming up to start the inning is number 6, Jack Joyce. Leading off for Grand Forks in the top of the 5th inning is the pitcher, Joe Veriano, number 14.
Leading off in the top of the 5th inning for the Royals.
Veriano gets out of the way to avoid getting hit by ball 1. Sounds like they called that one a strike, though. Nope, it's 1-1. And now the count is 2-1. Swing and a miss evens the count at 2-2. And Veriano goes down swinging for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up number 1, Bryce Carinta.
Now batting for the Royals. Number 1, Bryce Carinta.
Joyce delivers that one high for ball 1. But that one is right down the middle for strike 1. Count is 1-1 for Carinta. Count is now 1-2. Joyce delivers the next pitch for the strikeout looking to give us the second out of the inning. And this will send Grand Forks back to the top of the order.
Now batting for the Royals. Number 26, Brian Weiss.
Center fielder number 26, Brian Weiss, steps up to the plate. And he takes strike 1 looking.
Yep.
Curiously steps out as the pitch is crossing the plate for strike 2. Facing an 0-2 count. He's hoping to keep his at-bat alive or put it in play. And that is another strikeout for Joyce to end the inning. And that looks to be ball game, ladies and gentlemen.
The Grand Forks Royals 0 and the Fargo 61s 13.
As is tradition, they're going to shake hands at the end of the contest.
Fargo Post 2 baseball.
Fargo beats Grand Forks in the nightcap by a final score of 13-0. Fargo certainly had the bats going today. Thanks for attending tonight's broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. We hope that you drive safe and come visit us